I operate at 100%, and it's just that anything below 100% is noticeable to me, and that was the impetus. I got to do something about it.
Hey guys, it's Dr. Ryan, and today we're going to talk with one of my patients who's been a member of the clinic for almost 2 years, and he's going to tell a little bit about his experience with Summa Up and some of the things that he's experienced while being a patient before, joining, during, and after. Okay, so Mark, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
How you doing, everybody? My name is Mark. I'm 45 years old. I work for the fire department. I have been employed with the fire department for 20 years. I've loved every minute of it. And ever since being part of Summa Up, everything has been amazing.
I really appreciate the general statement of support, but let's talk a little bit about the specifics about how your situation was before joining Summa Up. So what was your situation, your current health situation, your mental situation like before you started with the clinic, and what specific problems were you trying to solve when you were looking around to work with the clinic?
Right. Well, as soon as I turned 42 years old, I feel like a switch in my body just turned off. And I remember I was working out 5-6 times a week, doing CrossFit, waking up 5 o'clock in the morning, energetic, sleeping great. And all of a sudden, my workouts were extremely exhausting. I can barely complete them. I remember not being able to wake up in the morning. I remember the workouts, the exhaustion lasting a lot longer. My recovery time was, instead of 24 hours, it's like a couple more days. I figured if I wait another day, I'd feel better, and I still didn't feel better. And I remember talking to one of my guys at work, and he's like, "You should get your blood checked. Make sure you have you might have low testosterone." I didn't even think about it. I said, "You know what? That's probably, I'm 40-something years old now, and let me get it checked." And lo and behold, my testosterone was quite low. And another one of my friends had suggested, go try Summa Up. These guys are amazing. And I did. And the thing about Summa Up versus a regular practitioner is that Summa Up doesn't just get you to normal blood work, they get you to optimal blood work. And how do we turn that metabolism on to a point where it's a fat burning machine? How do we, they treat you, hormonally with vitamins and diet, and they attack you from all angles. And that was the big difference that I had.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out. We take a very individualized approach in which we try to incorporate diet, exercise, supplements, and medications to really get you towards that ideal mental and physical state. But before we jump into some of the therapies, Mark, let's talk a little bit about how outside of your workouts, how your state before Summa Up was being affected. Did you notice in your career as a firefighter, there are certain things that were more difficult prior to optimizing your hormones and vitamin levels and working with us? Did you find that there were some problems that arose in terms of your relationships with your colleagues, your family?
Just overall sleep was difficult. I never felt fully rested. I never, and that alone will affect your day-to-day activities, your relationships. I just remember just not wanting to go out. I'm just tired. There's no drive. There was no oomph in my tank anymore. I was just like, I'm just gonna go home. Now, I feel like I'm 25 again. I feel like, that I got my battery's recharged. That was the major difference.
Yeah, which is amazing. And then just one last point about that situation prior to joining. Was there like an inciting event, or was it more just a culmination of different events? What was the straw that broke the camel's back that made you say, hey, you know what? I got to do something. I got to work with Summa Up.
I always operated 100%. A few months prior to my going to Summa Up, I'm like, this is not me. Something's going on. And I operate at 100%, and it's just that anything below 100% is noticeable to me. And that was the impetus. I got to do something about it. And I don't want to feel old. I'm only 42 at the time, There's more to this. What's going on?
Yeah, no, I can totally see that. And it's really just a method to kind of bring out the true you, like who you see yourself as, mentally, internally, versus what was manifesting externally, which is great. You kind of touched upon this, but after joining the clinic, what are some of the changes that you noticed in your body and overall health?
Within a matter of, like, I would say 2 months, I saw massive changes in my body composition. I was able to see abdominals for the first time in years. Very defined abs. I really didn't change my diet that much. I mean, I tweaked it a little bit, but with my blood work at optimal, ranges, everything just came off easily. And it's been easy to maintain that under your care.
Yeah, I'm going to take a minute and just stop for a second, because one thing that was really awesome is watching your lipid panel improve over time. This is done without statins. It's just your diet, just hormone optimization and vitamins. And as you can see, your total cholesterol levels dropped significantly. They went from 221 to 179. Your triglycerides dropped significantly from 172 to 123, and your LDL is at 105. Now, I'm always in the process of improving things further and further, so I know we can improve even more, but this is a huge drop, and the fact that you did this is really impressive without the usage of conventional medications. So yeah, I totally agree. What about some changes in terms of your career? Did you find that you were able to perform your duties as a firefighter more effectively? Did you notice people at works stating that you were much more efficient at getting things done?
Absolutely. Not only about efficient, just mentally alert, more present. That's at home too. You're my family, my friends, and I'm more myself. And I'm a very social person. And when you are not 100%, you just want to kind of regress back into your cocoon until you get better. And it's just, I wasn't coming out of my cocoon. That was the problem.
You kind of touched upon something really important there. So there is this model in behavioral psychology in which our actions are really determined by our thoughts, right? So there's this cycle in which you'll have thoughts. Your thoughts will turn into directed actions. You'll do the action, and then you'll go ahead and rest. You'll develop energy, and then you can repeat the cycle. So energy, thoughts, actions, rest. Energy, thoughts, actions, rest. It's really important that your thoughts and your feelings you have are optimized, because they are very key to making the right actions, right? That will result in the trajectory of your life. Generally, are your thoughts and feelings at a higher level? Are you vibrating at a higher frequency after working with me? Do you feel much more positive about?
Absolutely. Productivity at work is definitely increased. My performance is increased. My workouts have become phenomenal. I feel better now than I did when I was in my 20s. The energy levels are just optimal. Everything's been better. When you're feeling better, you are better.
That's great. Okay, so we talked a little bit about your physique, your family, your career. Were there any other benefits that came from working with us?
Just the overall aesthetics of my body have been improved. I mean, a lot of people's motivation is to look a certain way. And while that is one of mine, it's not the only one, but the benefits alone from that are just like, wow. It's the first time I actually thought about maybe I should try an over 40 competition. Just to take up a notch. But
I think you have the genetics to do very well in it, for sure. Have members of the opposite sex also noticed? I imagine they have.
Definitely has improved my my dating adventures.
Very cool. If someone was watching this video, what would you tell them if they were uncertain about joining the clinic or in starting this journey?
I would say get your blood checked. It can't hurt. Most doctors don't test for testosterone, and you do. So get yourself checked. It doesn't cost anything. What do you have to lose? But you'll feel better, at the very least.
Thanks so much, Mark. I really appreciate that.